Almost 2 years ago, I watched the What is AFL video, which you can watch up there. This took me on a crazy journey all the way to watching Sydney Swans to Geelong Cats in the AFL Grand Final at the MCG. But the AFL have recently released a brand new version of What is AFL. So let's compare. Now, if you do enjoy this, make sure you go down there and hit the like button and subscribe. I'm going to watch this video as a sort of a newbie to the game, but also compare it to the previous version.
It's unlike any other game in the world.
Buddy Franklin on the scene. Franklin, this is Buddy Franklin!
Otherwise known as Aussie Rules, AFL or footy, Australian football is chock-a-block full of non-stop action, athleticism, hard hits, and heart-stopping moments.
Seed from the boundary needs to be inch perfect. Yes!
Straight away, I think the original version was a little bit more high intensity, a little bit more exciting. What they could be showing is those top marks, those, when they really do jump on people's backs and get these incredible marks. And they could be taking Buddy's 1000th goal with the fans storming on the pitch. Show the excitement. I don't think they're getting it in this video at all.
This is Australia's game.
Do like that.
Not even kidding. The Professional Men's League, the AFL, is the most attended domestic sports league in the world per capita. It's made up of 18 teams across the country.
The AFLW is the women's competition, formed in 2017 and growing rapidly ever since.
Righto, let's talk some basics.
At least they have added the female element into it as well. However, what they've not really done, and possibly because it's growing, they've gone, well, there's 18 teams in the AFL, but they haven't really said how many teams are in the AFLW.
On game day, two teams play each other on a field shaped like an oval. A starting lineup consists of defenders, midfielders, and forwards.
You gotta be fit to play this sport. Players can move anywhere on the ground and perform any role during the game. Games are split into 4 quarters, with time added for stoppages in play.
In the original version, they had the oval pitch, okay? However, what they did in the original version is they said, well, this is actually the size of other pitches. So this is the size of a basketball pitch, a football pitch, for example. Which was excellent because it showed you the difference. I know in my head, bear in mind, they're trying to get people from other sports and explain what is AFL. So other people from other sports, so for example, myself, if I was newly watching this, I know what the size of a football pitch is because I play on it, I referee on it. So if you, in the original version, they actually had it animated on the oval at the difference in size. That was fantastic because it made me think, whoa, they are playing on a huge oval, and it really emphasised that. Shame they didn't do it this time.
And the game starts with players from both teams fighting for possession of the ball.
We are away, and Grundy out the back was able to get it to Pendlebury.
The aim is to move the ball down the field and score. This is done in one of 3 ways. You can't throw the ball, but you can use your fist to punch the ball out of your hands. That's a handball. You can run with the ball, but don't forget to bounce it every 15 metres.
Penny! Oh, he's in a good spot. Penny with a bounce. Here's the moment. Penny with a second bounce.
And finally, you can kick the ball. No.
They have added a little bit of humour into this, at least, with the annotations and showing like the slipping when he kicked there.
Yeah, that's better.
Trelaw kicks it beautifully. Look at that ball.
Players try to catch the ball after it's been kicked at least 15 metres. This is called a mark. Fun fact, you can use your opponent as a stepladder and take what's called a specky. Wait, that's legal?
I love a specky. See, they should have added the speckies right at the start because that's what's drawing the newbies in. The footage at the start was pretty rubbish. All right, You need to be showing the speckies and these incredible kicks right at the start to make people think, oh my God. I think I used the quote in that first video of, this is so Australian. But that's what you needed.
After a mark, you can choose to play on, or you can stop and take an unobstructed kick.
To score, the idea is to kick the ball between the two large upright posts.
There's the target, and that's right on.
That's a goal. That's 6 points.
By the way, you can also kick goals like this, or even this. No way!
Still with Martin. Can he kick a four?
Martin.
He has.
Hit the post, or put it between the big posts and the outer lower post. How did he miss that? That's worth 1 point. We call that a behind.
I thought that said bell
After a
end.
goal is scored, the ball goes back to the centre square and the action starts again.
Surely not another one. Handball to Oliver. Streaming through. Bang! Bang, bang, bang!
So, how do you get the ball back from your opponents? You can spoil, bump, smother, and tackle. Is it true they don't wear pads?
And bang!
Once tackled, your opponent must correctly dispose of the ball. Yeah, nah, not like that. If they don't, and have had prior opportunity to do so,
On the footy!
this is called holding the ball, and you get a free kick. When the final siren sounds, the team with the most points wins. Come on!
What an upset!
I think it explains. I think it explains the laws, and the rules fairly well. But I don't. I think it's fairly similar to the original version. With AFL, it's fairly straightforward. But when you're first learning, after I watched the original, I was like, "What the hell is going on?" But actually, when you get watching it, it's very, very simple. It's probably one of the easier sports that I've been able to follow along to. It's Aussie rules, but there aren't that many rules. But I do find that they explain it well, but it doesn't make sense until you properly watch a live game.
A final scoreline can look confusing, but it's actually pretty simple. Start with the goals, these are worth 6, remember? Add your behinds, and that's your total score.
Before we go, let's take a quick look at how the professional seasons work.
In the women's competition, the top teams play off in a knockout final series, culminating in a grand final played at the highest ranking team's home ground.
In the men's league, teams fight it out for 22 home and away games. And after that, the top 8 teams make the finals. One by one, teams get knocked out until 2 remain, ready to face off in the grand final. It's the decider for the biggest prize in footy, the Premiership Cup. Played at the MCG in front of, hold up, this can't be right, 100,000 fans. You beauty.
Beauty! What a ripper!
And that's pretty much it, your quick guide to Aussie Rules football. So, this is us. What do you reckon? Because personally, we think it's the best live game going round.
But don't take our word for it. Grab your scarf and come see for yourself.
Well, I did come and see for myself. And as I've said before, Aussie Rules is now my sport. Honestly, I'm in love with it. I cannot wait for the new season, 2023 season to start. So yeah, the difference between this one and the original that was actually done 7 years ago, like I said, the original had so much excitement and showed those incredible speckies and incredible kicks right at the start. That gets you into the video and you think, oh my God, I need to find out more. This is insane. I don't think they showed the best clips to start off with in this recent version. I think in terms, I liked in the original version that it showed you the difference in size of the pitches and whatnot, because it gives you an idea of how far players have to travel. I think very similar that they've explained the rules, very, very similar. And I think it would have left me in the same situation after listening to both. I like the comedy side of this one. But I'm going to have to say, I think I prefer the original version. I have to say that because it's what got me into the sport. But yeah, the good thing with this one is it's included the women. They could have possibly added a little bit more detail, how many women's teams there are, but maybe they didn't, just because, in the near future they may be adding more teams, and then then this video goes a bit out of date, doesn't it? However, there's talks about adding a Tasmanian team into the men's league. So overall, I think the original is better, but this is possibly a little bit more modernised, and I think that's fair. Now, as I said, AFL is my sport. The season is coming up. I cannot wait. Hopefully we'll get down to Melbourne again for the grand final and try and get tickets again. We will see if I can make it 2 years in a row. An Englishman travelling all the way to Australia for the AFL. Fingers crossed. Just waiting for plane ticket flights to go down. But to think where that original video took me, wow, what a journey I had, which is continuing. Let me know your thoughts. Which one do you think is better? The original, which you can watch. I obviously did the first reaction of that. Or this one, which is a little bit more modernised. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to support my channel and you want to support our journey, support our trip to Australia again in September, then you can buy me a coffee. You can buy YouTube membership, buy merchandise as well, all in the description down below, and check out charlieandrob.com, and I will catch you next time.